5 major expenses. Let me be honest, student discounts for that. About traveling, how expensive is Russia? Everyone keeps asking about how expensive is Russia and what are the monthly expenses. So today I'll be sharing with you my monthly expense, no Google numbers, nothing but my personal monthly expenses. And also this is going to be a eye-opening video for my dad also, who thinks that I spend a lot here. Hello everyone, my name is Simran. I'm a third year medical student in Bashki State Medical University, Russia. If you're planning for MBBS abroad, I think you should know how much you're going to spend in a month. So keep watching, I'll explain everything in detail. Okay, before talking about monthly expenses, I would like to tell you about the 5 major expenses that you need to do like on a yearly basis. हर साल आपको ये 5 चीज़ें जो है पे करनी पड़ेंगी. Your tuition fees, your hostel fees, your medical insurance, medical checkup and visa extension. These are the 5 things that you need to pay on yearly basis. इनके pricings I have already told, I think, in my previous video, so you can check that out. And first and the biggest expense is your hostel accommodation. I stay in a university hostel and I pay around 18,000 rubles per year for my hostel fees. That includes electricity, all the hostel facilities that I've already talked about in my previous video. If you haven't watched that, please watch it. Also, if you are living in a private flat, the expense may go around maybe 30,000, 35,000 for a month if you are renting a flat. Next is food expenses. Now food expenses totally depends on your lifestyle. Everyone has a different food expense, but as for me, I cook myself, I cook at home, so I'd rarely eat outside. But if we add up to grocery expenses, it comes around 3000 rubles per month. And if you are eating outside, we are going to add 1.5 thousand to it. Okay, so that comes approx to 4.5 thousand for groceries and your food expenses for a month. Now if we talk about traveling, obviously public transport, it is affordable. When I came in Russia in my first year, the public transport ka cost in the bus was around 34 rubles. Now it has changed. Abhi 1 February se I think it is going to be 50 rubles, so I have calculated accordingly. So your travel expenses for a month would be around 2600. Okay. And कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि it is not like you just have to travel from hostel to university. Sometimes what happens is your specific class is not in the university but in some hospital. So sometimes if you have a class in university, you have to go to university first and then your certain hospital. So what I mean is you have to travel sometimes more. So we'll take our travel expenses to 3000 rubles per month. Also, a lot of students also do cabs, you know, sometimes for transportation, because bus now for example, now if you're going by bus it is 50, and if you go by cab to a certain specific location it is around 240, 250 or 200 rupees. And now if you're traveling with 4 people, you may divide it and it all approximately comes around 50, 55 or 60 rupees. So same hi padta hai. So most of the students nowadays are, you know, choosing cabs over buses, because when it is extreme winter, आप इतनी देर बाहर bus stop पे खड़े नहीं रह सकते for the, you know, to wait for the bus to come. So we choose to cab sometimes, but it is totally up to you how you want to. And for traveling, you can use normal banking cards, but we also have a bus card called as Alga card, जिससे you can get a certain discount. I think 8 to 7 rupees you can save, so you can use that card if you can. I'll attach a picture here as to how that card looks. You can use this card in public transportation. We are going to talk about mobile and internet utilities. For me, 50 rubles recharge for 30 GB. And actually 30 GB is more than enough for me. I don't really use 30 GB, so sometimes I do for 20 GB. But कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि 20 GB का भी it shows around 340, 345 rupees. So इसलिए I do 350 ruble वाला recharge. So in 350 rubles you get around 30 GB. It is more than enough. Also Wi-Fi. Our hostel does not provide Wi-Fi. We have Wi-Fi in hostel libraries, but we don't have them in rooms. Obviously आप अपने पैसों से अपने रूम में you can install a Wi-Fi. We have installed a Wi-Fi and it costs me around 150 rupees per month. That I pay 150 rupees and my other 3 roommates also pay 150 rupees. So individual it's 150. So 350 for mobile recharge and 150 for my Wi-Fi recharge per month. Study material and books, दिस इज लाइक द मिनिमम एक्सपेंसेस जिसके लिए आए हैं उसके एक्सपेंसेस ही है ही नहीं, कम ही है. बिकॉज सी बुक्स, whatever books I need, I issue them from library, my university library. Our university library is huge and it has lots of different books. अगर आपको hard copies नहीं मिली, you always have e-books on university portal वगैरह, you can download. And also most of my books are on my iPad, so I don't really need so I don't really spend much on stationery. Of course, I'm not going to talk about the minimal stationery expenses that we do on pen, notebooks and stuff. That is like miscellaneous. We were not going to talk about that. Next is your personal and miscellaneous expenses. Now this includes your shopping, your grooming items. Okay, so for example, कभी कभी ऐसा होता है that we buy shampoo, conditioners, you know, some toiletries, sanitary napkins, makeup, कपड़े खरीद लेते हैं, we buy shoes, winter jackets. So all these are miscellaneous things. This depends on how much you spend. So now if I calculate everything, my total expense comes around to the minimum expense that we can do here in a month comes around to 8,000 rubles. Okay, 8,000 rubles. 8,000 ruble is like जो आपको चाहिए यहाँ पे रहने के लिए, लाइक अ कंफर्टेबल लाइफस्टाइल, आप अच्छे से खा रहे हो, पी रहे हो, सारी चीजें कर रहे हो, तो यू नीड 8,000 rubles in your hand. 8,000 can change up to 9,000, sometimes 10,000 or 10, 11, 12 depending कि आप कितना बाहर खा रहे हो, आप you know, other activities. Certain month your expense might go up to 10,000 or 11,000. That is fine. There are some of my friends jinka monthly expenditure is around 19,000 or 33,000 because they don't cook at home. They, you know, eat outside every day, and actually eating outside every day is also not good. So you should learn to cook. I have always told this, and I've also told this in my previous video, that if you are planning to come here, please learn few things and come, learn how to cook, learn about specific, or learn to read Russian language also. Let me be honest, Russia is not very cheap, but it is manageable for MBBS students if you spend your money wisely. And the expenditure you do on food is not an expenditure according to me. That's what my dad tells me. Now tips to save money. First is cook at home. Okay, don't eat outside. Cooking at home will save you a lot of money. Second, using students discounts. In Russia here, a lot of you know, recreational places or activities जहाँ पे अलग अलग different activities होती है, we do have student discounts for that. So you can show your student ID and avail student discounts. Also for transportation, avoid using cab if you are single individual. Of course, if you're traveling with groups, then cabs are also affordable, you can split the money. Track your monthly expenses. Do not blindly just swipe your card everywhere. Track your monthly expenses. And it is for me also. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like, share and subscribe. And also, you know the drill. If you have any questions or any suggestions for me, or anything you are curious to see, or you want a video on it, please comment below. And thank you for watching the video. Bye.